Welcome to my humble abode of historical inquiry, dear listeners, where the tales of yesteryear come alive in vivid detail. Today, we embark on an enchanting journey through the misty veil of time to explore the fascinating story of the Venetian Republic. This majestic entity, born from the marshy waters of the Adriatic, would eventually rise to become a beacon of grandeur and prosperity, captivating the hearts of many with its unique blend of maritime prowess, artistic expression, and commercial acumen. As we delve into the earliest history of this remarkable republic, let us begin by setting our gaze upon the year 452 AD, when the Western Roman Empire was crumbling beneath the relentless onslaught of barbarian hordes. It was during this tumultuous period that the first inhabitants of the Venetian lagoon began to settle on the islands, seeking refuge from the chaos that engulfed the mainland. These intrepid pioneers, primarily fishermen and salt workers, would lay the foundations for a new society, one that would eventually flourish into the magnificent entity we know as the Venetian Republic. As we navigate the labyrinthine waters of Venetian history, our attention is drawn to the figure of Saint Mark, whose relics were brought to the island of Rialto in 828 AD. This pivotal event would become an integral part of Venetian mythology, symbolizing the city's connection to the Byzantine Empire and its adoption of Christianity. The Byzantine architectural models, with their elegant domes and soaring spires, would also leave an indelible mark on the city's landscape, as the Venetians drew inspiration from these majestic structures to create their own unique style. The strategic location of Venice, poised between east and west, facilitated a unique cultural and economic symbiosis that would propel the city-state to unprecedented heights. The Byzantine Empire, in particular, played a significant role in shaping the early development of Venice, with Emperor Justinian's reconquest of Italy in the 6th century introducing Byzantine administrative and architectural models that would be adopted by the Venetians. The Lombards, who had established themselves in the nearby mainland, also left their mark on the evolving identity of the Venetians, as they interacted and influenced one another in a complex dance of cultural exchange. As we explore the early centuries of Venetian history, we observe the gradual coalescence of various influences, Byzantine, Lombard, and Frankish, each leaving its own distinct imprint on the city's culture, architecture, and governance. The office of the Doge, which would become synonymous with Venetian governance, was initially modeled after the Byzantine system, with the Doge serving as both the spiritual and temporal leader of the community. One of the earliest recorded doges was Pauluccio Anafesto, who is said to have ruled from 697 to 717 AD, marking the beginning of a new era in Venetian governance. The early settlers of Venice faced numerous challenges as they worked to reclaim land from the sea, build canals, and construct homes on stilts. Yet, it was precisely this environment that fostered a sense of community and cooperation among the Venetians. As they labored together to create a habitable space, they developed a strong sense of solidarity and shared purpose, which would become a hallmark of the Venetian character. As we delve deeper into the history of this period, we find ourselves in the midst of a vibrant tapestry of human experience, woven from threads of struggle, adaptation, and innovation. The Venetians' early experiments with governance, trade, and architecture laid the groundwork for the majestic city that would eventually rise from the marshes. And so, dear listeners, we find ourselves at the threshold of a new era in Venetian history, one marked by expansion, innovation, and the ascent to greatness. The foundations laid in these early centuries, often tumultuous and uncertain, have set the stage for a drama of epic proportions. Welcome back to our enchanting journey through the annals of Venetian history, dear listeners. As we navigate the 9th to 12th centuries, we find Venice poised between east and west, its strategic location facilitating a unique cultural and economic symbiosis. The Byzantine Empire, with which Venice had maintained strong ties since the early days of its existence, continued to exert significant influence over the city-state. Emperor Basil II's military campaigns against the Arabs in the 10th century, for instance, created new trade opportunities for Venetian merchants, who capitalized on these openings to expand their commercial networks across the Mediterranean. One of the pivotal figures of this era was Doge Pietro II Orseolo, who ruled from 991 to 1090 AD. Under his wise and ambitious leadership, Venice began to assert its independence from the Byzantine Empire, while maintaining a delicate balance of power that allowed for continued cooperation and trade. The Orseolo family's connections with the Holy Roman Empire also facilitated the growth of Venetian influence in the Adriatic, as the city-state began to establish itself as a major maritime power. The 11th century saw the rise of the Commune of Venice, a unique form of governance that would become a hallmark of the city-state. The Great Council, established during this period, brought together representatives from various districts and social classes, providing a platform for collective decision-making and ensuring that power remained distributed among the citizenry. This innovative system allowed Venice to maintain its independence, while fostering a sense of community and cooperation that would become essential to the city's success. As we explore the artistic and cultural landscape of Venice during this period, we are struck by the stunning beauty of St. Mark's Basilica, which began to take shape in the 9th century. The intricate mosaics, golden domes, and soaring spires of this magnificent structure reflected the Byzantine influence that had shaped Venetian architecture, while also incorporating elements from Islamic and Lombard traditions. The iconic Campanile di San Marco, built in the 10th century, stood as a testament to the city's growing prosperity and maritime prowess. The commercial acumen of the Venetians was another key factor in their ascent to greatness. The Rialto market, established in the 9th century, became a hub of mercantile activity, attracting traders from across the Mediterranean. Dirand so wort, aniko ridery, digitally, asartigers, The Venetians' expertise in shipbuilding, navigation, and finance enabled them to dominate the seas, establishing trade routes that spanned from the Black Sea to the Atlantic. As we delve deeper into this period, we find ourselves in the midst of a vibrant tapestry of human experience, woven from threads of innovation, adaptation, and cooperation. The Venetians' unique blend of maritime prowess, artistic expression, and commercial acumen had forged an empire that would leave an enduring legacy on the world stage. And so, dear listeners, we find ourselves at the threshold of a new era in Venetian history, one marked by expansion, conflict, and the continued ascent to greatness. The Venetians' ability to adapt, innovate, and cooperate would be tested like never before, as they navigated the treacherous waters of international politics and commerce. Join us as we continue our enchanting journey through the annals of Venetian history and discover how this magnificent city-state continued to evolve and thrive in the face of adversity. As we continue our journey through the annals of Venetian history, we now find ourselves at a critical juncture where the city-state's grandeur and influence begin to wane. The 15th to 18th centuries mark a period of significant challenges and transformations for Venice as it faces new competitors, adversaries, and internal strife. The rise of the Ottoman Empire in the 14th century posed a formidable threat to Venetian trade and territorial dominance in the Mediterranean. The Ottomans' conquest of Constantinople in 1453 marked a turning point as Venice struggled to maintain its grip on the lucrative spice and textile trades. Despite valiant efforts to resist Ottoman expansion, including the formation of the Holy League in 1495, Venice suffered a series of setbacks, including the loss of key territories, such as Cyprus and Crete. Meanwhile, the emergence of new European powers, such as Portugal and the Netherlands, further eroded Venetian commercial dominance. The discovery of new trade routes and the establishment of colonies in the Americas and Asia diverted merchant attention away from the Mediterranean, reducing Venice's importance as a hub of international commerce. Internal conflicts also plagued the city-state during this period. The Great Council, once a symbol of Venetian democracy and cooperation, became increasingly ineffective, as powerful noble families vied for control and influence. The rise of the Council of Ten in the 14th century, an executive body with sweeping powers, further concentrated authority in the hands of a few, exacerbating social tensions and contributing to the decline of the commune. Despite these challenges, Venice continued to produce remarkable artistic and cultural achievements. The works of Titian, Tintoretto, and Canaletto, among others, showcase the city's enduring legacy as a hub of creative expression. The construction of iconic landmarks, such as the Rialto Bridge and St. Mark's Campanile, meanwhile, demonstrated the Venetians' continued mastery of engineering and architecture. As we approach the end of our journey through Venetian history, we find ourselves reflecting on the city-state's enduring legacy. Despite its decline, Venice remains an eternal symbol of elegance, refinement, and cultural sophistication. The city's unique blend of Byzantine, Gothic, and Renaissance influences continues to inspire wonder and awe, as visitors from around the world flock to marvel at its breathtaking beauty. As the Venetian Republic ultimately succumbed to Napoleon's armies in 1797, marking the end of an era, we are reminded that even the greatest civilizations must eventually yield to the forces of history. And yet, Venice's spirit lives on, a testament to the power of human creativity, perseverance, and cooperation. As we conclude our enchanting journey through the annals of Venetian history, we invite you to join us in celebrating the eternal city's timeless allure and majesty. In our final thoughts, we recall the words of the great Venetian historian, Marino Sanuto, who wrote, "Venice is a city that has been built on water, but its true foundation lies in the hearts of its people." As we bid farewell to this magnificent city-state, we honor the memory of its people, whose resilience, ingenuity, and passion for life continue to inspire us all. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of Venice. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.